So I was helping a buddy of mine move around his motorcycle the other day, and I really didn't have a convenient way of loading it into the back of the truck. These are the traditional ramps that I've used. A lot of people use these. They're about 8 inches wide. They're, sturdy enough, they're nice enough, but they're made out of steel. So after a while, you'll start noticing components on them starting to rust. Flip these things over and you'll see all the rust that's kind of forming in this area right here. I picked these up. They're relatively inexpensive. I think I got a pair of them for about 60 bucks. And again, they hold up pretty well over time. They're very heavy because again, they're steel, but they kind of get the job done. The only challenge is they're a little narrow. So when you get 2 of these, you kind of have to put them side by side and run the bike up the center. We also use these when we load my daughter's quad, as well as some lawn equipment and things. But I wanted something better and something a little nicer, especially something with a wider footprint and that was longer. So let me show you what we got. So these are our new ramps. They're made by a company called CargoSmart. They have 2 versions of these. They have one version that has LED lighting, which is this specific one, and then they have one that doesn't. So if you're ever loading up your truck and it's super dark outside, let's say you're out in the ranch or you're in a field and you don't have lighting, you can simply put batteries in, the lights will come on, and you'll be able to see the ramp so you can load whatever you need to load on safely. That's great, especially if you're operating lawn equipment or a tractor and you need to be able to load it on the back, or if you're out and about for a long period of time, or you simply need to load your quad up in the back of your truck. These are really nice for several reasons. One, when fully extended, they're 90 inches long, so they're incredibly long, but they're also a foot wide each. So if you have 2 of these, you're gonna have a lot of surface area to be able to get up and down whenever you're loading. What's also nice about them is that each one of these ramps can support 750 pounds. So you have 1,500 pounds of total payload or cargo capacity per pair, and that's gonna give you a lot of flexibility when it comes to loading different types of ATVs as well as lawn equipment and motorcycles. Something that's nice about these is that when you fold them open, the lights automatically come on, so you don't have to worry about turning a switch on or trying to get to a switch. Automatically comes on once they're unfolded, and you can see the length difference compared to my old ramps right there, plus much wider, and they're about 1.5 feet longer. So these are going to give you a much more progressive kind of slope to getting on. So it's a shallower slope when you're getting onto the ramp, and it's a shallower slope when you're getting off of the ramp to the back of your truck. So that's also really nice. Now, comparatively speaking, these are a longer, wider setup, and they weigh just about as much as these other ramps right here, which are much smaller. Now, price-wise, these aren't going to be the most inexpensive steps either. If you want a pair of them without LED lights, you're going to pay about $250, $255. If you want the pair with LED lights, it's a bit over $300. You can buy them individually for about half that price, of course, and if you don't need the full width of 2 steps, then that can come in handy even buying one individually, simply because it's a 12-inch wide platform. Now here's what the step looks like when it's actually on the tailgate of the truck. Again, very nice progressive slope, easy to enter, easy to get off, and these things are incredibly strong, so walking up one is no problem at all. Of course, I don't weigh 750 pounds either, but very, very strong steps, very stable, especially because they are 1 foot wide, so that comes in really handy. And when you're done with them, they're very easy to collapse because you simply pick it up from the center area here and it's going to fold in on itself. There you go. So overall, they stand about 4 feet tall, maybe a little less, and they're very portable. And they're not super heavy, but they're not super light either. This is going to be a great product for me, especially when it comes to loading things. Those steps just aren't very stable. They don't invoke a lot of confidence when you're using them. I'm not going to say they're bad because they haven't failed me, and they're definitely sturdy enough. But in terms of stability, in terms of having a wide enough path, these are going to come in much handier. I'll put a link in the description of the video if this is something you might be interested in. And again, they are not going to be the least expensive step on the market, but they're going to offer you a lot more than some steps that cost less. They have a nice little hook that comes with it too, so you can anchor this to a trailer or to whatever you're connecting it to so it doesn't slide around or move. But they've done a good job designing this so it has a nice platform at the end that actually rests here on the end of the tailgate. Anyways, guys, again, I will put a link in the description if this is something you're interested in. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up. We'll talk to you again very soon.